Get an amazing win versus the Cleveland Cavaliers to get the Vibes back on top. The Denver Nuggets 16-4. 16-4 since the All-Star break. That's an NBA best. Just when you thought things were headed down the wrong path. The Denver Nuggets take on the number 3 seed in the Eastern Conference, and they absolutely take them apart from start to finish. Y'all know what time it is. Let's tap in, Swipa gang. Let's get it. Let's go. The Denver Nuggets beat the Cleveland Cavaliers 130-101 in an absolute dismantling. Now, again, let me be fair to the Cleveland Cavaliers. They've had a crazy schedule as of late. The Cavaliers played the 76ers the other night. They won that game, and then they're playing versus the Jazz, the Suns, the Lakers, the Clippers, and then the Grizzlies. But they're playing the Nuggets in Denver, at Utah, at the Phoenix Suns in Phoenix, at LA versus the Lakers and the Clippers. So they have an absolutely horrendous schedule coming up. And so I definitely want to acknowledge the fact that their schedule is crazy. But the Denver Nuggets were in a situation where they just needed to get the vibes back. They just needed to get the vibes back. They just have not been playing good basketball. And some of this is obviously where the season is. We're in the middle of March, or at the end of March. We're at the very middle of the last 10 games of the year, basically. And the team has just not been playing as a unit and cohesively and sharply. And so the Denver Nuggets, man, they have not been playing good basketball the last couple of games. They get demolished by the Timberwolves. They lose to the Sun. They just don't give the effort that you're used to seeing from the Nuggets since the All-Star break. And some of this is Jamal Murray. Somebody mentioned, he's missed 5 straight games, I believe. The Nuggets are being extra careful with him. They just don't want to put him in a situation where he's coming back a little bit too early and then he's dealing with injuries the rest of the year and all this other stuff. And I actually completely agree with it. I think you don't need Jamal right now. Jamal's not needed to the playoffs. The Nuggets can get, the next 8 games they had, they can get 4 more wins. The Nuggets have 1, 2, 3. They got the Grizzlies, Spurs, Timberwolves, Jazz, Grizzlies, Spurs, Timberwolves, Jazz, Hawks, Clippers, and Spurs games coming up. That's 7 games. And then tonight, 8 games versus the Cavs. So that's the thing. Like, they can get 4 or 5 more wins in this category without Jamal if they need to. So I'm actually glad. I'm glad that he sat out again tonight. And the Denver Nuggets, man, everybody tonight that played in this game, which was absolutely dominant, and they played a really, really special basketball game. But y'all know who we got to start off with, the MVP. The MVP of the NBA, who Michael Malone said he's going to win his 3rd MVP this year. Nikola Jokic played 35 minutes tonight. Joker had 26 points, 18 rebounds, 16 assists. 16 assists, y'all. 16 assists for Joker. 26, 18, and 16. Yo, 26, 18, and 16, 11 of 18 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3, 3 of 5 from the free throw line, 1 steal. Joker was a plus 37 in 35 minutes. A plus 37 in 35 minutes. Just an absolute dominant game from Nikola Jokic, who I think, I'd already told y'all this. That I thought coming into the year, I talked about this with Ryan Blackburn a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit about it later. I said this is going to be probably the easiest MVP he's going to win in his career. I think he's going to win 4, but this is going to be the easiest one because of the nature of the way that the league was going to work after what he did last year. Jokic had 16 assists tonight, y'all. Like, it's unheard of. Some of the passes that Joker was making today were among the best of the season, if not the outright best of his career. Like, his ability to just be able to absolutely dictate every single thing that the opponent's going to do as a passer, let alone a scorer, y'all. It's just unprecedented. Like, the level that he is able to get to, it's just nobody else like it, man. Like, there's no one else like it. And what I love is that today, Nikola Jokic, man, he just decided that today the Nuggets weren't losing this game. They weren't going to lose the game. And especially given the fact that the Nuggets have really struggled. He just didn't want them to have a 3-game losing streak. That just would have been unacceptable, even if it's March. Now, again, last year, to be fair, the Nuggets lost 4 straight games at one point. They lost 4 straight games at one point, and it ended up costing them. And that's a part of the reason why Jokic didn't win that MVP last year. And so today, the narrative changed. Everything changed today. And Nikola Jokic, man, just had an exceptional, phenomenal game. And some of these passes that he was throwing, I'm going to show you a couple, man, but I just want to put the stat line up so you all can see it, because it's just good to give context to how dominant and how good he was. Again, a plus 37. A plus 37 for Nikola Jokic tonight in one of his best games of the year. This stat line that you're seeing from Nikola Jokic today has not been accomplished since Oscar Robertson, per StatMuse. There has not been a player to put that stat line since Oscar Robertson. That's how good he was tonight. Like, it's incredulous the level that he is just able to tap into that seemingly nobody else can reach, especially not consistently. 26, 18, and 16 with 1 steal. 26, 18, and 16, 1 steal, 10 of 16 from 2, 1 of 2 from 3, 3 of 5 from the free throw line. Don't know what that was about. What a 64.4% true shooting, and he was a plus 37 in 35 minutes in an absolutely dominant game and a stat line that has not been seen since Oscar Robertson was in his prime. That, for me, is what takes this to the next level, man. Joker on the season, 26.1, 12.3, and 9 assists a game. And everybody's saying 64.7 true shooting, by the way. And people are saying, why is he in the MVP conversation? Why is he leading the MVP race? Joker has played 72 games so far this year. 72 games. And he shot 5 free throws today, 1 of 2 from 3, and he's averaging 26, 12, and 9 on basically 65% true shooting. And people are really questioning if he should be winning the MVP or not. It's just, again, man, the Nuggets are 16-4 now. 16-4 since the All-Star break. And Joker, since the All-Star break, y'all, it's averaging 26.3, 12.9, and 9.3 assists. And he's shooting 58.4% from the field, 33% from 3, and 85% from the free throw line. He's a plus 255. He does 255 at that point. So again, y'all, it's just the level that he's been able to get to. And I know people get tired of greatness. That's just the way the NBA works. People get tired of greatness. I understand it. I get that people get tired of greatness, man, but you just got to appreciate what he is and what he's doing. And again, look at these numbers since the All-Star break: 25.7, 12.3, 8.8. Like, that's including the second game. Hold on, let me add this. Let's see. Yeah, 26.6, 12.6, 8.9. So since the All-Star break, y'all, he's just going absolutely bonkers. He's going absolutely bonkers since the All-Star break. So it's just incredible, man. Like, the level that he's gotten to, the shooting splits that he's shooting on, and again, a plus 255 over the stretch. It's just insanity. 58, 33, 85 splits, a plus 255. Now, the three-point ball has kind of gone up and down. You see 50, 0, 0, 20, 50, 75, 0, 33, 33, 57, 20, 33, 0. His three-point shot has kind of come and gone. That's going to be the thing in the playoffs that you want to see him get back to, being able to be that dominant player as a jump shooter. But, he's just been incredible, man. Like, and shout out to him, just really, really special from Nikola Jokic today. But y'all, look at this pass. This was the pass that he had to KCP on a DHO action today. Look at this. Behind the back pass to KCP, y'all. He denies the DHO action on the first end. Denies the DHO action on the first end, and then ends up still getting it to KCP with a behind the back with 2 men between him and KCP going to the basket for the dunk. Like, it's just an absolute masterclass passing performance from Nikola Jokic today. So, and then he had this one also. He had this play that he had to Peyton Watson. That was just incredible. Look at this. Peyton dive to the rim, dunk. Just an incredible game, man. Peyton Watson also had a better game today, and Jokic was just throwing the ball all over the place. And it wasn't like he wasn't playing versus a good defense. He's playing versus one of the best interior defenses in the NBA, and it just did not matter. So the Denver Nuggets, man, they take care of business. Nikola Jokic, spectacular performance tonight. 26, 18, and 16 tonight for Nikola Jokic, a plus 37 in 35 minutes. KCP, y'all. People are still trying to act like KCP is not going to make first team all defense, which for me is crazy because he's been incredible all year. But KCP tonight, y'all, 22 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 7 of 10 from the field, 6 of 9 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 1 steal. KCP a plus 35 in 35 minutes for KCP. He should be one of the 4 guards making the first or second team all defense. The Denver Nuggets have one of the best defenses in the league. Even, maybe the best clutch time defense when it matters in the league by far. And he's a huge reason why, but KCP just doesn't get that same amount of love for whatever reason. And he's incredible, man. 24, 3, and 4 from KCP. 6 of 9 from 3. Just an absolutely dominant game from him. And again, we've seen him do this in the playoffs. He had that third quarter in game 4, I believe, of the Western Conference Finals. He had game 2. I think he had 21 points versus the Suns in the second round. KCP has shown time and time again that he can do this. This is who he is. Like when he needs to have one of these kind of performances, when the Nuggets might need some offense from somewhere, the levels that he's just able to get to is incredible, man. So shout out to KCP. 6 of 9 from 3. And they were all difference-making shots from him today as well. Michael Porter Jr., 19 points and 6 rebounds today. Really good game from him. He was 8 of 16 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3. He was a plus 18 today. Michael, again, since the All-Star break, has just been on a different level. 19 and 6. Didn't have an assist today. He tried. Definitely had some passes that he was trying to hit to the corner. One that went out of bounds for Reggie. But 8 of 16 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3. 5 of 11 from 2. That's kind of not how Porter has typically been playing since the All-Star break. But 3 of 5 from 3, man. And they were contested threes. Dominant for him. And again, a plus 18. Aaron Gordon, 8 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists on 3 of 7 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw line with a steal. He was also a plus 18. His defense was spectacular today. Man. Really shout out to him. Amazing. Reggie Jackson, by the way, really good game for Reggie Jackson. 5 of 5 from the three-point line. 5 of 5 from the three-point line for Reggie Jackson. He had 19 points in 23 minutes, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists, 6 of 10 from the field, 5 of 5 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. He was a -1 with the staggered minutes, but again, he was staggering with the bench unit. So that's why, similar to Jamal Murray, that's why his plus-minus wasn't good, but he had a good game today. 5 of 5 from 3, and they were buckets. They're all important buckets, too. KCP and Reggie Jackson today, they combined for 11. They combined for 11 of 14 from 3 today. So, yeah, if your backcourt's going to do that, then it's going to be really hard to beat any team, let alone the Denver Nuggets, man. Christian Brown off the bench, y'all. Let's talk about it. 10 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist for Christian, 4 of 8 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. 1 block, 1 steal, a plus 26. 1 block, 1 steal, and a plus 26 for Christian Brown. Just an utterly dominant bench game from him. And not to be outdone, Peyton Watson, 9 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists in 20 minutes. 4 or 5 from the field. Love to see it. 1 or 2 from the free throw line. 2 blocks, 1 steal, 3 stocks. And then a plus 3 for him, again, off the bench. So between Christian Brown and Peyton Watson, you got 5 stocks. 5 stocks, 19 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists. If you can get 19 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists from those 2 players off the bench, they're winning their minutes. Or at the very least, they're competing in those minutes, and then you give the starters and Jokic and quality rest. And that way they can win those games outright. And then Justin Holiday today, who I think is in the playoff rotation, y'all. He has 20 minutes played, 7 points, 1 rebound. He was 3 of 7 from the field off DHO's really good shots, 1 of 3 from 3, 1 block and 1 steal. He had a great steal today at the basket. He was a -1, but still really good minutes for him. DeAndre Jordan, 6 minutes played tonight, did not look good. 1 rebound and 2 assists. He was a -8. Just did not, just the energy wasn't there today. The bounciness that you need to see from him was not there today. Jay Huff, he was a +4. Hunter Tyson hit 3-pointer. He had 3 points. He was a +4. Jalen Pickett had 2 made jumpers. He was 2 of 2. He was +3. Colin had a dunk, and he was a +3 as well. Overall, the Denver Nuggets shot 57% from the field on 50 of 87. Shot 21 of 33. That's the most made threes, I believe, this year for the Nuggets. 21 of 33 from 3 for 64%. And they shot just 9 of 13 from the free throw line for 69%. They had 16 turnovers today, though. That's really high for the Nuggets. That's a lot of turnovers. But they did have 36 assists. They forced 15 turnovers and held them to 26 assists. So 36 assists, 16 turnovers. That's a little higher than what you want it to be. Remember, you want to have like a 3-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. They were not able to do that today. The Nuggets dominated the boards, though. 51 rebounds and 11 offensive rebounds for the Nuggets. The 28 rebounds and 6 offensive rebounds for the Cavaliers. That's huge. 51 rebounds and 11 offensive rebounds is incredible. 4 blocks for both teams. 7 steals for the Nuggets, 10 steals for the Cavs, 19 fouls on the Nuggets, 12 for the Cavs, and 2 techs on the Nuggets. The Nuggets, now, they move back up to 52-23, and they are currently now they're sitting tied at the top of the West. But you remember, they don't have the tiebreaker versus the Thunder or the Wolves, so they're still sitting in 3rd place, but they're 5 games above the Clippers. So depending on how things flow for the next couple of days, they could oscillate and go back up. But the Nuggets, they take on the Spurs next game in Denver, and then they have the Clippers, and then they have the Hawks, Jazz, Wolves, Spurs, and the Grizzlies. So listen to this, y'all. This is why this is important. So they basically play 2 teams above 500 that are like legitimately above 500 over the next 7 games. The Clippers and the Wolves. If they wanted to, they could take time off for the starters in that Spurs game and play versus the Clippers. They could come back to Denver and take time off versus the Hawks if they wanted to, or they can play that game and take time off versus the Jazz, and then play on the second night of a back-to-back versus the Timberwolves, and then they could close out the season if they want and just settle into the 3rd seed and take time off versus the Spurs and Grizzlies. So this is the thing. Everybody's kind of just settling in right now. And a point I wanted to make earlier that I noted on Twitter. So the Denver Nuggets, they spent a good amount of this year number 1 in effective field goal percentage. So meaning their jump shooting and their rim finishing was really good for most of the year. But then they started sliding a little bit this season when their play started to discombobulate a little bit. But the good news is that the thing is the Nuggets, they're kind of back on the uptick over the last 20 games or so. And I think one of the things that could end up happening that I think could help the Denver Nuggets a lot is what if, this is my theory. So similar to kind of what happened with the Miami Heat last year, where they weren't healthy and it affected their shooting a lot. It affected their shooting. They weren't healthy, and everybody could kind of they felt going into the playoff that they were going to be an easier out for the Milwaukee Bucks, especially after the play-in. But the thing is, they got healthy. Their players were active. They started hitting their shots, and they started hitting above the means. And then that put them in a different tier, and that's why they started to really walk people down. Now, one of my theories is for the Nuggets that because they took the pedal off they took their foot off the gas for a good portion of the season. They took their foot off the gas, and because of that, I think that really affected their stats as a whole. So my question is, and my speculation is, so if the Denver Nuggets can get to a place where they're able now with their 16-4 now, if they're able to get back to a point where, they're leading the NBA in effective field goal percentage in the playoffs right now since the All-Star break, they're tied for 4th with the Mavericks at 57.2. But let's say, and then they're 4th in true shooting. Let's say they're able to take care of business and they go back to the top. They go back to the top in effective field goal percentage in the playoff because just the way that shooting variance works, And then that's the biggest deal. Their defense is better than it was last year. Their shot making has regressed just ever so slightly, but enough to where it's made a difference over the course of a season. So I do think that there's going to be an opportunity for the Nuggets that when they get into the playoff, they're going to really be able to turn some heads because they're shooting. It's just going to be a different deal, and it's going to change the entire outlook for the Nuggets and for their season as a whole. Y'all, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Denver Nuggets win 130-101 versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Nikola Jokic, 26, 18, and 16, 23rd triple-double of the year, 14th straight win when he has a triple-double, I believe. The Denver Nuggets, they're now back tied for the lead in the West, but we'll see how things shake out. Jokic looks like he's on his way to his third MVP, y'all. Y'all know what time it is, Swipa gang. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. I see y'all on the other side.